Good morning, everyone. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest in the Behind the Bar reviews for chapter 931 of One Piece. One Piece, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be a special morning edition. It has nothing to do with the fact that I was busy going to work and wiring up a buddy's garage all yesterday and did not have time to do the review. No. This was intended. This is a special morning edition and is certainly not late. You think they'll buy that? Okay. Anyways, as you guys can tell, I'm also wearing a new shirt for those of you who watch my reviews. And this is whatculture.com. It's a YouTube channel that I've been watching for many years. And That's My One Per List from Retro J with a Zero. Jules himself signed it for me. Love that. Thank you very much to Jules for signing my copy. Really enjoyed that. But now, let's get in to Soba Mask. Soba Mask, the chapter of One Piece this week. Okay, before anybody starts anything, I'm not going to talk about the Zoro versus Sanji thing in this thing. In my personal opinion, Zoro was always slightly stronger of the trio. It goes Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. That's the pecking order that I always took. And Zoro is always going to be slightly stronger than Sanji regardless. This raid suit probably put Sanji on the same level as Zoro. They're probably now this will balance the scales. It does not put Sanji over Zoro. That's my opinion. Now that that's out of the way, it won't be talked about again in this video. I've been on Twitter, I've been on Discord, I've been on YouTube. That's the big debate with everybody. And honestly, I'm tired of it. I'm always going to think that Zoro's stronger than Sanji. Always have. Probably always will. I don't need some. But if you guys want to try to convince me down in the comment section down below, you go right ahead and show me evidence as to why Sanji is equal to or stronger than Zoro. Feel free to do so. It's just my opinion. That being said, let's get into the actual chapter itself, now that we have that out of the way. Because the chapter was awesome. The chapter was great. And some people will also complain about the fact that Sanji is using this raid suit, and we find out in this chapter that he is using it for the very first time. He did not try to test it out in the little gap of time we had where we weren't following Sanji. He did not try to test it out. He does not know what it is, blah, blah, blah. But he might have an inkling. He might have an inkling because of what Law says, but we'll get to that. So I'm fine with this reasoning. As I said in the last review, the flashback thing was fine. It was totally, like, if they had done a flashback of him, like, coming to terms with it and stuff, that was a possibility of this chapter. They did not do that. But a couple of lines from Sanji just speaks volumes. And if nobody likes that reasoning, well, put yourself in that shoes, in his shoes. It'd be like you saying, all right, I don't want to fire a gun. I'll never fire a gun. I don't believe in firearms. They kill people, blah, whatever your opinion is. And you have the chance to save people's lives if you just fire that gun. Are you really going to let a bunch of innocent people die because of your personal reasons? That's selfish. And that's what Sanji is trying to say here, is that, you know, we are doing battle with the top tiers. We're doing battles with the Yonkos now. We went into Totland. Now we came straight out of that just to go and antagonize Kaido. We are literally trying to battle with the best of the best in the world. And we're going to stick to our personal reasons and our pride and sacrifice lives doing so? That's not the type of person I am. And Sanji is not that type of person. So this fits his character completely. He's not going to let a bunch of innocent people and a whole town be destroyed because he had a rough childhood. He's not going to let his pride get in the way. He's going to be like, I hate this thing. I don't want to use it. But if it's a choice between this and saving people's lives, I'm going to throw away my pride every day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's his opinion, and you know what? I don't need any more than that. That makes sense for his character. It makes sense to me, using my little firearm analogy there. For some people, that might work. For others, they might say, what are you talking about? Either way, to me, it made perfect sense. We don't even need the flashback part. It makes sense. And so he says, yep, okay, I'm going to use this. Boom. Page 1 thinks it's canned food. That's kind of funny, because it does look like a, you know, Campbell, here, get your Campbell's Chunky number 3. You know, special number 3. Only 99 cents today. Okay, whatever. And he uses this thing. Now, a lot of people thought it'd be yellow, and a lot of people are thinking there's a yellow or gold accent on this outfit, but it's black. He does a Sailor Moon transformation, Sailor Moon style, and I can't wait to see this animated, because I know that they are going to make sure to get as close to that line of Sailor Moon-esque transformation as they can, because that is clearly what Oda's going for here, kind of a, you know, a homage to that, to the Sailor Moon era, because it's just like, come on, he's arms spread, all stripped down. It's cool. I kind of like it, and he gets the whole Power Rangers motif going, just like the rest of the Germa do. And it's number 3, Stealth Black, and Law knows all about it. Law knows about Sora, the Warrior of the Seas, and all that stuff. And he talks about, like, it's, I guess, a big major comic strip, especially in the North Blue. Everyone and Law is from the North, so of course they know about it. And Sanji also knows about it. So one thing that I noticed that not a whole lot of people were talking about was the fact that just because he didn't use the raid suit before, and some lines contradict my theory here, but Sanji, after getting the suit on and getting black, I mean, black sheep of the family, maybe that's the idea. That's why it's not yellow. Number 3, he's the black sheep. It's black. Turns invisible because he doesn't exist. You kind of see where I'm going with this, guys? I mean, it's literally layering it on that he's the misfit. He's the odd one out. He's the black sheep. He's invisible to them. He can't be seen. He's, you know, all that stuff. He's still a member, but he's an outsider. To me, it's layered on super thick, but I'm not hearing a whole lot of people talk about that. Once again, everyone's just focused on the Zoro versus Sanji thing for some reason, rather than focusing on the chapter. And I take that as one thing, and then also when Sanji, when he first transforms, Sanji and Law kind of go back and forth, like, oh, well, I'm a huge, like, I'm a well-read person in Sora, Warrior of the Seas comic, and the evil Germa army, your name is Stealth Black, number 3. And Sanji says, how do you know that, you know? And he goes, well, I'm from the North Blue and stuff, and he goes, your name's Stealth Black. He goes, well, I know that, you know, sort of idea. So in my opinion, as Sanji is also from there, Sanji knew what, from just the kind of banter back between him and Law, it contradicts some of the lines Sanji has said previously, but I believe that Sanji had an idea. Maybe not, once again, the invisibility thing or something, but he had an idea what the suit looked like, and that's why he knew it would kind of cover his face and change his hair a little bit, kind of disguise him roughly the way he is, because he seemed to know about it. He goes, well, how do you know about that? You know, sort of idea. And he goes, well, I sort of know it. So that could be a translation thing, but it would stand to reason that Sanji would also know about this comic, this very popular comic like Law does, and he would know about the existence of the number 3 raid suit and the name Stealth Black and all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm for it either way. It would make more sense that he would know that this would cover his face, because for a lot of them it does not. This one just so happens to be kind of ninja style. You know, so maybe Sanji had an inkling of what it would look like. I don't know. Either way, he decides, well, no, I'm not part of the Germa. I'm not sinking down that low. My name is Soba Mask. And Frankie and Usopp and Law are just like, no, no, no. You're changing that. We will come up with a better name for you. You don't want to be Stealth Black, which is a badass name, actually. You don't want to be Stealth Black, that's fine. We're coming up with a better name, because that's ridiculous, man. You cannot do that to us. And I found that whole banter kind of funny. Of course, Usopp and Frankie are just like, Frankie's just, bing, transformation. He's just so happy to see this technology in action. And it appears that he's got the invisibility powers, more not so much invisibility, but camouflage. And we know that these type of things exist in modern technology, but it's very cool type of camouflage. It's more accustomed to a solid snake camouflage rather than true invisibility like the clear fruit that Shiryu currently has, and before that it was Absalom. Because you can kind of tell, like, it just merges with the background. It's it's really cool. I kind of like it that it's not true invisibility. It's a camouflage mechanism built into the raid suit that just copies and pastes the background so he can't really be seen. So clearly his attack power has gone up according to what we're reading here. His attack power has gone up. He's smacking Page 1 around a couple times. Page 1 can't find him. He's like, where is he? A lot of people are talking about Page 1 being one of the flying fighters. He's one of the top 6 headliners. He should have at least rudimentary observation hockey. What's going on? Regardless if he's invisible, observation hockey should still work. That's the thing. Observation hockey, once again, remember, hockey is taxing. Any type of hockey is taxing. In my opinion, you kind of have to focus it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an automatic, okay, I have observation hockey when I walk around. It's turned on to max, you know? I'm not under the impression that that's how it works. I mean, to a rudimentary, a very basic level, sure. But if you're not focused, you can still be attacked from the side if you're not focused in battle, sort of idea. Like, it's not something that's 100% like focused on all the time. I believe that Page 1 was looking with his eyes, not his hockey, trying to discern the location. Rather than using his observation hockey to focus, he didn't assume right away that the guy was going to disappear. He was looking with his eyes. I mean, Page 1 might not have observation hockey. It'd be a little odd if he did not. But, I mean, as we saw from an Ancient Zone Fruit and from maybe some decent armament hockey, he could probably make up for his lack of observation hockey. A lot of people have posed that maybe the raid suit has some type of rudimentary observation hockey block or something. I really don't know the answer to this one. I think that we saw a panel, and of course I can't show panels, but we did see a panel of Page 1 like looking to the side and kind of noticing before he got hit the second time. So maybe his observation hockey isn't that great, and Sanjay could be moving at very high speeds and such as well. So even if Page 1, maybe Page 1's observation hockey is not fine-tuned enough to keep up with Sanjay's speed with the raid suit. That's an easy enough explanation for me right now. Once again, he's taken by surprise, and remember, hockey requires an extreme amount of willpower and focus. So right now, Page 1 is probably, as I said, it's probably on. You know, his observation hockey, if he has it, is on, but he's not using it to its max. He's not focusing to try to find his invisible opponent right now. I mean, we might see that a little later in the next couple chapters. We might see him start to, now that he's gone down to hybrid form, and he's like, boom, let's do this. So it's definitely controversial, but I think once again, just like with the explanation that why Sanji thought it was okay to use the raid suit and he didn't have to go through a whole chapter worth of discovering why it's necessary, I'm sure Oda's going to come up with a quite easy explanation as to how that worked and explain it to us in the next few chapters. So I'm not going to worry about that too much as of yet. I'll wait for the next chapters to come out to fully explain for the rest of the fight. Now for the rest of this fight, we do see once Page 1 goes down to his hybrid form, he appears like, once again, it's hard to always discern whether Sanji's turning the invisibility on or off, but the line here where he attacks Sanji and says, "Show yourself, invisible man," sort of idea, leads me to believe that he now is focusing his observation hockey and he knows where he is. He still can't see him. Sanji's raid suit still has the camouflage, the transparency is still on. So that leads me to believe that, okay, this was just a surprise attack, blah, blah, blah. Now he does have his observation hockey. He's focusing to use it to battle an invisible opponent. It's all good, and they keep going at it. The only other thing of note in this fight, because we jump away from it, is the fact that they're still battling it out and stuff, but Sanji says he's going to have Frankie or Usopp kind of redesign the suit a little bit. That'd be really cool. And the suit does look awesome. Like, it's probably one of the most badass of the German suits, if not the most badass. And if everyone's correct, where, of course, it's black, but it's got the gold motif sort of idea, the accent colors are gold, that would look even better. And it would make some people, a lot of people thought it would be yellow, and some people did say they wanted it to be white or black. Either way, it's going to look badass. Gold and black. You can't go wrong with gold and black. It looks elegant. It looks regal. It's a wonderful color palette choice. So I'm really happy about that. Of course, this kind of brings, and Sanji admits it to himself, bitter irony, because when he found out about Absalom's fruit, and then we found out that Absalom was killed, and Shiryu got the clear fruit. It's like, it's crushing Sanji's secondary dream. It's like, yeah, the all blue's nice, but, you know, a consolation prize, a bonus would be, you know, it's like winning the lottery, but you also scratch that extra million sort of idea. For Sanji, that was the clear fruit. And we see flashbacks of him talking to Absalom, like, you have crushed my dream. And he says, well, what bitter irony. Now I will be able to use this suit from the Germa, the hated Germa, to be able to stare in the woman's baths. I mean to help my friends. Okay, alright. At least Sanji's admitting it. I mean, how many, ever since Lord of the Rings came out in movie form, how many people thought about, oh, the ring goes on. Well, you know, invisible seems kind of nice, you know, so, I mean, that joke has been done in video format, in memes, in manga, in lots of stuff. Sanji, at least, is a character who admits it to himself. This has great potential as a man. As a pervert, but a man, nonetheless. So, they continue their fight, and now here's an interesting thing. Law is saying that they're going to go to Ibisu Town. Now, if they go to Ibisu Town, that is where Zoro, as far as we know, currently is. That's the same town where everyone's just kind of like, you know, everyone's happy and everyone's grand. So, I'm interested to see if they're going to meet up with Zoro finally, because I like the fact that we haven't disregarded Zoro for all this time, but Zoro we finally got Zoro back. I want to see Zoro, like, interact with more people. I want to see him as a main focus in this arc, once again, because we've been without Zoro and Robin and Frankie and such for a long time. So we need to keep that focus there, you know. Now the next shot, of course, we jump over from here and we see Shogun Orochi just doing his thing, and Robin's, of course, looking for stuff. I don't know why she thought this was a good idea. I know people have thrown out theories as to maybe it's a clone, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Maybe she's thinking maybe she wants to get caught as a diversion. Maybe there's somebody else on the inside. Maybe she's doing this to take away the focus. Or, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why she thought that this was a good idea to sneak away at this point, but maybe this is her only opportunity. She had to take what she could get. Hard to say. Either way, she's looking and looking, and then we get the Obi-Wan group. The Oni-Waban group. I love that this has been introduced, and I looked and looked and looked before doing this review, because for a lot of you may or may not know, but Oda also was an assistant to the mangaka who wrote Rurouni Kenshin. And that is one of my favorite series of all time. It is a fantastic series. That's where a lot of current mangaka, got their start with this man. And he did work on the Kenshin series with him. So, with not only the Manslayer, the Batosai, the Manslayer being sort of introduced as a homage, as one of the three great samurai they need to track down. Also, Oda doesn't even try. He goes, it's the Oni-Waban group. It's just them. So I'm sitting there scanning each character, trying to look for a resemblance to the actual ones in the Kenshin series. I'm trying to find, like, okay, where's Misao? Where's the old man? Where's Aoshi Shinomori? Where's Henya? Where's whoever? I could draw very, very vague similarities, but I don't see anybody in this group of 10 or so ninjas, or even the headmaster. I can't really seem to draw any parallels between them and the ones from the Kenshin series, which I find a little unfortunate. I would have liked to see, like, the old man have a resemblance or something, or I don't know, just have some designs that were very, very similar. That would have been kind of cool to me. Now, maybe he's not allowed to go that far with it. I don't know. I mean, he used the same name, but once again, that's not exactly just for the Kenshin series. But it's really nice that he used a ninja-based thing. I mean, his teacher was the Rurouni Kenshin mangaka, and I always forget his name. And so this is just a nice homage for me. I really, really enjoy this. And not enough people are bringing this up. Not enough people in their reviews are saying, yes, Kenshin strikes again. Because we saw, one thing we saw, Kiku resembled Batosai from the Meiji Restoration era during the flashback as a woman, whatever. We got one of the three samurais is literally called the Manslayer and resembles him as well. It'll be even better if he has a star-shaped cross on his cheek. And now we have the Oniwaban group of ninjas. Like, he's just laying it on thick, and I love it. I just want more. I want more homages to this stuff. A lot of people are making the Naruto parallels. Like, no, no, no. No. This is Kenshin parallels. The ninja stuff has very little to do with the Naruto stuff and much more to do with his actual start as an assistant to Rurouni Kenshin. That's the big thing. So I'm really happy about this. It's much more similar, and I know that Naruto and One Piece, of course, like they were rivals and friends and stuff, and they assisted together. But once again, these parallels come from something much earlier than Naruto. It comes from, once again, Kenshin. So I'm really happy about that. I don't know how Robin's going to get out of this one. She was looking through scrolls and looking for hidden doors and such, and they all found her, and they're all ninjutsu and all that stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to Robin here. Now, the last bit of the chapter is where a lot of people are upset. And you know why people are upset? It's not because this isn't going to be fun. It's not that this isn't going to be hilarious when Chopper is riding on Big Mom's shoulder and ordering Big Mom to do things, or Sanji cooks for her again or something, or she, like, Chopper's like her best friend in the world or something, and she's like, Big Brother Chopper or something like that. That's going to be hilarious. That's going to be fun. That Big Mom arrived here, Kaido it was King, shot her down, no signs of her flagship, no signs of her children. She's there, laying on a beach. Chopper and all them find her, Momonosuke and such. They find her, and she wakes up and goes, "Who am I?" And Chopper's like, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. And the reason people are ticked is nobody called Amnesia. Everyone thought, okay, so is Big Mom going to arrive in the next 2 chapters? Are we going to forget about her for a while? Is there going to be a big brawl? Is she going to be on the side of somebody else? Like, is there going to be some connection? What's going to happen? Is Kaido going to track her down? Nobody called Big Mom washing up on a beach by herself having amnesia. Nobody said it. And that is why people, I think, are ticked, because they did not see that one coming. Oda is continuously surprising us. The time travel thing. I still don't like the time travel thing, but it's not something I ever thought would be in One Piece. It's not something I thought was a thing. And it definitely surprised me. Good or bad, it's still nice to have surprises that we can't call people make theories all the time, and One Piece is one of the biggest manga series. It's just like Oda needs to continuously keep us engaged, and this is a way to do it. Once again, I think that this could go very, very humorous. I think there's going to be a lot of fun to have Big Mom with amnesia. And potentially, this is going to be kind of a turn of her character. Because remember, Charlotte Linlin was not a bad person. She had these crazy hunger pains, and she was stronger than everyone, and she lost herself not in a blood rage, but a hunger rage. I think my wife can attest to that. That's a thing with a lot of women for some reason. They get, what do they call it these days? Hangry? Either way, that's a thing that Big Mom takes to the extreme. But remember, she didn't mean to do any of that. It's just that she has a problem, and that's what the core was. Now, that doesn't forgive everything she's done thus far and all her tyranny and all that stuff. But remember, at her core, she was not born an evil person. She was not born a bad person. She is a pirate. And for the most part, we tend to forget, even in One Piece, pirates are not good people. They are rebels. They are renegades. They are vagabonds. They are not good people. They are criminals, nonetheless. Regardless whether it's righteous or not. They are still criminals. And this is a core aspect we tend to forget. So, I would love to see the young Charlotte Linlin in the Big Mom's, body sort of idea, and Chopper like appeasing her and stuff, and then maybe when she starts to get her memories back, there might be a conflict of character. And this would be interesting to me. I'm not saying Big Mom's going to turn good guy, or anything like that. But I think that if this is handled right, it's potential that Chopper, like, she is going to remember all the two kids, Momonosuke and stuff, and Chopper and all that stuff, and Otama. They were there for her. They didn't try to, and she will know if she gets her memories back and they take care of her and teach her stuff and comfort her when she's going to cry because she doesn't know who she is and stuff. Remember, amnesia, a lot of the time they revert back to very basic stuff, like a little kid almost. And this will be very, very interesting to see if they're going to do that, like if Oda's going to go that route with it. And if he does, that will be significant for her character when she gets her memories back, because then, once again, she won't be a good guy, I don't believe. That'd be too much of a turn of character. But I don't think she'll want to attack the Wano or the Straw Hats anymore for the simple fact that Chopper's there. And she'll remember all the kindness, and she'll remember when she was a kid and Mother Caramel. Even though Mother Caramel was evil, once again, Chopper is not. And she'll remember the kindness and the comforting, and she'll probably make the connection that they could have, like, killed her in this state. She was the most vulnerable Big Mom has probably ever been in this state, and she'll stay alive, and they could have found a way to kill her or whatever, but they probably won't. And then when she makes that, she'll realize, like, I hate this, and she'll probably grumble, I hate this, and probably punch a hole into the earth, but she'll realize, I can't do it now. Now I can't hurt the Straw Hats because Chopper is a Straw Hat and he took care of me. He did this. He's a doctor. He was comforting. He did this. She's, Charlotte Linland is still there inside of Big Mom. So I'm happy about this. I didn't see it coming, but I think this is great because now it's more interesting. Everyone's calling, okay, when are Kaido and Big Mom going to fight? Like, okay, and eventually it probably will happen. But this keeps it interesting. This keeps it fresh. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this line of reasoning. It's interesting. And that's what One Piece is. 931 chapters, guys. We can't all be right. Oda needs to constantly surprise us, and this was a shocker. I'm fine with it. I know a lot of people aren't, but what do you think down in the comment section down below? Once again, guys, this has been Griever with your early morning edition. Not late, but your early morning edition of Behind the Bar Reviews for One Piece, chapter 931. That being said, guys, like, subscribe, comment. As always, it's always hugely appreciated, and we will see you back here next time for the next chapter 932 of One Piece. Drink responsibly, like I currently am, as always, and we'll see you back here next time.